my chair roll.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Prop Live. Hooray! It's Prop Live, our weekly live show over here on the Punished Props YouTube channel and podcast. We have an audio podcast. This is the show that we do every week where we take your prop and costume making questions and answer them. Usually we have a guest, and today is no exception. We have the lovely Jackie Craft Cosplay, one of our regulars in the chat, and an awesome cosplayer. How you doing, Jackie?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm all right. I started a new project today, and I'll tell everyone about that. It's always exciting to sort of break ground on a new project, and it's really fun.
Yes, it is fun. I finished a project and continued a project this week.
That's really good. That feels really good. You ever have a day where you finish a project and it's only like midway through the day, and then you're like, I could start something else?
Yes, I did that, and I stared around and I thought, I don't really want to start anything else.
No.
I would have binged something on Netflix instead.
Yeah, some days you finish a project, there's a couple hours left in the day, and you just say, I think I want to drink and play video games instead.
Yes. Oh, that happens a lot. My DS, yeah. I've been playing that a lot lately, so that took over for a while. So
cool. Oh, let me fix the thing there. Alrighty. Brit in the chat noticed that I did not have the audio or video switching properly, but I fixed it. Cool.
Awesome.
So you've got some cool things you've been working on. You were just in Columbus for Wizard World?
Yes, I was in Columbus. Was I somewhere after Columbus? I feel like I was. Nashville. Nashville was the last one.
Yes.
I was in Columbus and then Nashville, and I met a great friend of yours, Eric Jarman.
Jarman. Eric is awesome.
I mean, probably some of the most entertaining conversation I've had at a con in a long time. Cracks me up, funny stories. I mean, all kinds of advice. Like, cool dude.
Did he have his Cantus costume there?
No, he said he said he didn't know that he would cosplay for a while. I mean,
yeah.
You know, the Dragon Con kind of wore him out. So.
Yeah. By the way, folks, too, if you haven't already, you should definitely go over to Facebook and look up Jackie Craft Cosplay and go follow her page. She's got some awesome stuff, including Shredder, which is a personal favorite of mine.
I love Shredder. Shredder is like, for such a simple costume, it only took me 3 days to build all the Worbla and everything. It's got to be almost everybody's favorite. Like, even little tiny princesses all the way up to like 50-year-old guys. Like,
that's fantastic. I think that's a really great costume to gender bend too.
Oh, I love it. Oh, and a lot of people think I'm like Shredder's daughter, which isn't technically Shredder's daughter. You know all the backstory,
yeah.
But I'm like, I'm Shredder. I feel like being Shredder.
That's cool. The name Shredder is pretty androgynous anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. So did you have that one at Nashville? Or would you bring?
I took it to Nashville. I didn't wear that one in Nashville. I wore my I created an Alice in Wonderland costume, like a full sewing costume.
Oh wow!
And like even sewed all the wefts into my wig and everything myself because I have a lot of hair. It doesn't fit in a wig normally. So I had to like follow like a drag queen tutorial to make a wig. And I wore that and it was fine. But like I started in March of this year, finished it and wore it to Nashville. It gets less effect than a 3-day Shredder build. So like clothing costumes just don't make me feel as cool.
That's I just love armor. I just
me too. I love a weapon. Like I have a problem. I talked to Harrison about this at Dragon Con. I was like, my weapon's really heavy. Are your weapons heavy? I need to know because I feel like I'm doing something wrong. Like my bow back here weighs so much. My Frostmourne is sort of heavy. My plant's heavy. The only thing that's light is the new is this that I made. Like finally I made something that doesn't weigh 1 billion pounds. Like do you have any props that are heavy?
Like, I do. Heavy? I did the District 9 gun. The first one I did was kind of in a hurry, so the main body of it is almost completely solid cast resin. And I carried it around at San Diego Comic-Con for a couple of hours, and after that my arms were shot. So yeah. We cast some more of those bodies and we rotocast them, and they are probably 75% lighter.
Oh wow! So what do you think they weigh? Like 2 pounds?
Probably closer to like 5-ish. Okay. Once we assemble all the pieces on it.
Yeah, that's not bad though.
Hey, folks who are joining us live, by the way, if you'd like to ask a prop and costume making question for me or Jackie, we have the Q&A app running. If you're watching on the event page, Google+, you can go submit a question over there, and we will get to those shortly. But before we do that, I want to talk about Worbla's black art.
Oh, yes. Worbla, as Svetlana says, Worbla and Wonderflex.
Yes.
Dude, I love this stuff, man. I like have given it such a hard test. Like I've stretched it way farther than I stretched regular Worbla. You can actually, it even has like, it's sort of see-through because I stretched it so much. But I coat everything in this stuff because I'm obsessed with this material. I can't live without it. I just rebought. It's a Smooth On XTC 3D.
Oh yeah.
But it's like slightly more flexible. Like you can actually peel it off if you didn't have like a full coating, and it's my savior. Like it coats Worbla. I don't even sand anymore. Makes everything smooth. I prime with it.
That's really great. That stuff's designed for like 3D prints, but it's basically an epoxy resin, and you could use it to seal just about anything. And I think I never heard of people using it for Worbla, but now that you said it, it makes so much sense.
Yeah, my Flareon chest plate, the one I wore to the jump kick punch panel, I didn't really sand. I just coated the breast domes with one coat of that, and it made it like baby butt smooth. I primed it and then painted over it. So
that's pretty awesome. I'm gonna keep that. That's one of those things I'm gonna sock away in my brain and be like,
good.
Remember that.
It heats at a higher thing, but this is for my Alice I've finished. These are little bread and butterflies, and I attached them with the Worbla Black Art because it has like a higher tear strength, almost like almost as if it had like a fiber backing like the other thermoplastics do. So it's really strong. So I'm hoping that they won't pop off and they'll have a little flex to them. But I like it. It's really smooth compared to regular Worbla. Like
fantastic.
You can't treat it like regular Worbla, and you'll appreciate this. You know how you can treat Worbla like wood glue and everything everybody does? Can't do that to black art. It'll peel right off.
Oh, I got you. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. I know that Svetlana is doing an EVA foam costume currently, so maybe I have to make a Worbla one.
You should. Well, she's stressed out to death about that. Have you seen like all of her stuff? She's like,
yeah,
way harder than I thought. Like honestly, I tell people that all the time. Foam is shockingly hard to me. Like I'm just now getting better with foam, but before Worbla covered up all my mistakes with foam, so I couldn't make just a foam costume and get away with it. It would look real ragged.
That's what I'm worried about. Of course, and for those that don't, for some reason, if you don't know who Svetlana is, it's Kamui Cosplay, and she does a bunch of great books on using Worbla to make armor and props and stuff. All available for purchasing on punishprops.com, by the way.
And at the World Events where Jackie will be at the booth.
Yeah. And anyway, she's doing armor out of EVA foam for BlizzCon, which I'm excited to see while we're there. And of course, it looks amazing because she's a wonderful craftsman. But I'm worried that I'll make something out of Worbla and it'll look like crap.
It can't look like crap. Worbla is the world's most forgiving material. I always tell the people that come to the panels at the con, it's like warm clay. Like it's like heatable clay. You heat it up and it'll do whatever you want it to do, and you can sand it to death and shellac it to death, and it will look magical. It's the really forgiving material.
All right. Well, I'll have to get some of the black stuff.
Yes.
Play with it. What I need to do, and this is usually when I'm trying to find a reason to either buy a new tool or try a new material or a new technique, then I'll design a project or pick a project that it would be really good for. Yeah. So I'll have to pick something that Worbla would be really good for.
Something that has tons of tiny details that would take you forever in foam, but be quicker in Worbla, that kind of thing.
Yes. Cool. Let's see. What else do I have on my list of stuff here? Oh, we have a couple of things. We've been busy, us Punished Props folk. I've got a couple of videos over on YouTube. I'll load it up here real quick.
I like that bevel one. That's really handy, actually. The one about beveling?
Yeah, and it's all foam specific. We've been doing foam tips the last couple of weeks, and we just filmed another one. In fact, I did a live stream a couple days ago of me filming it, which was really fun. Hilarious. And I'm going to live stream me editing it as well, which should be full of swear words. It'll be great. Anyway, let's see here. Go to my playlist. I've got these two here. How to create stunning EVA foam bevels and the secret to creating perfect foam ridges. And like I said, those are specific to foam, but those techniques translate into lots of other materials.
Yeah. Yeah, like my beveled edges, this is all foam underneath, and it was painful to get those beveled. I wish I'd had the belt sander, just like run it along. I dremeled it, which was weird.
That's cool. So sort of in anticipation of a new thing I'm working on, we're doing all these foam tips. The new thing, let me see if I can swap this over. Yeah, look at, I got my camera set up over there. I got a backdrop. I have some stuff on the table there.
Oh,
that's
it's an axe head or something. What was that?
Yeah, I'll show you. Let me see if I can get this. There we go. Bit of a design there. This is the top half of it, and I built the handle. I'm building this big, like really stupid big. It's like this tall, big axe as part of the next Foamsmith book, Foamsmith 2, all about making weapons and props for your costumes, all out of EVA foam and some other stuff. So like the handle is over there, and that's got a piece of PVC pipe in it, but it's all covered in foam. So everyone can look forward to that. That'll be out soon-ish, but we have broken ground on taking photos. I've written most of it, and I'm really excited to get it out to you guys. Hooray!
You're so fast. It's crazy.
That's because I drink a lot of coffee, and I don't sleep. Yay!
Yay! I know that feeling.
All right, cool. Let's see here. Why don't we start taking some questions?
All right.
Great. This first one comes from Libraham, and Libraham Cosplay, that is. Jackie and Bill, what made you want to build armor? You go first.
I wanted to build armor so I would be the coolest kid in the class. No,
that's a legitimate answer.
It's super fun. It makes you feel the most fun. You have the most fun in armor.
I will tell you, I am a male of average height. But I always like. Did you ever watch Ren and Stimpy?
Yeah.
So you know how Ren was obsessed with having giant pectoral muscles?
Yes.
It was like his thing. I want to have big shoulders. Like I want to be like big, beefy man. So I pick armor sets that have giant shoulders because I want to be big.
That's funny because those of you watching that are a fan of his, go back to his old prop culture videos.
Yeah.
When shaved Bill, and you had shoulders that looked like football shoulders, and you're like back in the day. I just ran across this video, and I was like, "Those are the world's biggest shoulders. They're bigger than my shoulders."
Which one was this?
Culture. You're interviewing people at a con, and you're sitting there talking to a girl with short hair, wearing an NZ. I have a photograph here. Wearing an NZ sweatshirt, and you're interviewing her, and you are like, you look really young, and you've got these basketball-sized shoulders. They're hilarious.
I have to look this up because because I've filmed so many freaking videos, I don't remember any of them.
Yeah, it's really funny. It's under the prop culture. I laughed so hard. I was like, Bill, what? I wasn't sure if it was you or your brother. And then I saw the date, and I was like, oh, it's old school Bill. Is this in, am
I wearing my Mass Effect armor?
Yeah, you're wearing Mass Effect armor.
Yeah.
Did you see it? The one with the big shoulders?
Let's see here. Oh, I have to sit through a Jameson whiskey ad before I can watch it.
Well, I have all the ads off.
But I'm glad you mentioned that though. The Defender armor that I picked from Mass Effect, I picked because he's got giant shoulders.
Yeah.
Is this? All right, let's see here. Is it this one here?
Yes, I opened one of them. Yeah, and there's one where you're sitting at the sitting at a little table and you can see it bigger, but they're so big, man. They look really big when you're sitting down.
That had to be maybe the one I did with what's her name? Why can't I think of it? Sonia.
Oh, it might have been.
I gotta find it. Anyway, I'll look for that. But yes, that's funny. I like armor because I want to be a big man. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's fun though. I love big shoulders. Like my Lich King were big shoulders. These are even bigger. Like for some reason they're just growing in size. I have like an 80s shoulder pad obsession or something. I think. I don't know. I'm bringing them back through armor.
Wait, I'm almost there. Here it is. That's it. Yay!
Oh, there you go. Look at that. Look how cool. Look, you have like baby face.
It's because I shaved, and actually, I have a lot more gray in my beard now. The last 3 years of running my business have introduced a whole lot more gray hair.
Working from home too, like all of a sudden you realize you look like a caveman. Like myself, yeah. I'll walk by a mirror and I'm like, what? I haven't left the house in a week. What what's going on. I look crazy.
I did that. I was going back through a bunch of my videos, and not only can you watch this shirt get cleaner,
yeah,
but you can watch my beard get less gray if you go back in time.
Yeah, it's really
cool. All right, thank you. That was Lieberhand Cosplay. Thank you for your question.
Hi, Lee.
Let's grab this one here. There's a link. This one is from Tim. He says, I have a strapping question. I'm struggling with figuring out how to attach a shoulder piece to my armor. I have a link. Let's do the link there. Boop. And it's loading. And it's almost there. And there it is. Okay, some Gears of War armor. Cool. Needs to attach a shoulder piece here. Can't really cut something into this piece. I have LEDs inside this compartment. Currently masked off at the moment. I see, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think you might face something like that?
I would attach a snap into the bottom, like a snap like this right here. So Lich King. I would attach one of these snaps, like this one, these things, but with the other buckle side onto the shoulder and actually make it static, not flippy like that. Like these are actually inset into a collar, and I like Worbla and epoxy them in, and so I'd make them both hard and like snap into each other. Like
I've done similar things like that. I'm trying to think of my first Destiny armor. I did exactly that. I took one side of the buckle and just I think I hot glued it inside the shoulder so it can't move anywhere, and then the other side is just on a strap sticking out a little bit underneath that shoulder strap, and then you just snap it in place.
Yeah, those buckle snaps, I can't live without them. This has like 3 sets of them snapping in all weird physics ways.
I bought a, no joke, I decided all of my straps are going to be 3/4 inch wide, so I bought like a roll of 3/4 inch wide nylon webbing, and then I bought a bag of 100 slides and 100 buckles, sets of buckles. 100 of them.
Same person. I buy in bulk just like that.
Yeah, and they're almost gone. Like I don't even know. I'm like, where did I put all of those? But I use them for lots of stuff.
And it's a huge savings because you go to Joann's and like one buckle, $2.50.
Oh my God.
What?
Or a big 2-inch wide one's like $7.
Yeah. I order them online on Amazon, and like they may come from Malaysia and take 3 weeks to get here, but at least they were only $5 for 20 of them or something.
That's right. There you go, Tim. There's a little bit for you to try.
Yeah.
You asked the right people. You asked the shoulder brigade over here. All right. This next question comes from Daniel. Daniel says that Jackie Craft's Lich King costume was a highlight for him at Tidewater Comic-Con. Awesome. Let's see here. He wants to graduate from doing cardboard and foam Lego costumes to something more impressive. He's thinking of doing a WoW Justicar Paladin set. The armor is pretty straightforward, but I'm not sure about the big crystal head on the Hammer of Naru.
I saw that post.
Yeah. That's come up a couple of times. Actually, that exact here we go. We got a picture. That big glowing crystal.
I immediately thought you would cast it. Hollow cast it, like slush cast it or something. Is that what you would do?
The challenge with that is casting. I gotta double check, but Smooth On does have urethanes that are clear. Let's see. Smooth cast. Smooth cast.
I bought one I thought was clear, but I don't have it. Because crystal clears actually requires degassing and is toxic. Is like really hard to work with. Yeah. The crystal Smooth On.
It depends if it's urethane or polyester.
I hate polyester with a passion.
Smooth dash cast.
Polyester resin is like that smell, man. That smell.
It's super toxic.
Super toxic. I have 2 respirators. Like I don't want to work with things that are toxic, but I'm prepared. But the smell lingers. Even you just smell it for days. I don't know.
Yes. What the crap? I've never really used it, and I can't find it all of a sudden. Clear, crystal clear. Yeah, optically clear liquid plastic is this urethane? I can't remember. So here's the main problem with it. Like crystal clear, even if you could, if you were going to use that, it's got a 90-minute cure time. So if you're going to slush cast it, you have to slush cast it for an hour and a half.
No way, dude.
You could vacuum forming is one way to do it.
Yeah.
If you got a vacuum form machine, you would sculpt the hammerhead out of something solid and then vacuum form it. But what I would probably do for that, of course, make it out of foam, because that's how I roll. I would probably make a big old foam thing so it's lightweight, and then I would just paint it to look like the crystal. It wouldn't be transparent, but it would. You could get it to look really, really good without it being transparent.
I would probably use this is what, so you can't get this in the States right now, but I ordered it from Mom or whatever, the Netherlands one. So this is slightly different than Transart in that it's more rigid. It's the thin foil that Kamui always talks about that she cut.
That's right.
Matterhorn. Yeah, I was thinking I would try that. It would be like Pepakura. It would be hard, but it's that's pretty lightweight and pretty inexpensive. And you can use that spray tint for plastic lenses.
Yep. Yeah, there are a handful of things for you to try there, Daniel. That is a challenging build. I will tell you that. It's a tricky one. I would just make it out of foam and just deal with it not being transparent. Probably, especially for something I'm going to carry around at a convention.
Yeah.
Other than if I had my druthers, I would probably vacuum form it, kind of like the way that Harrison over at Voltman Props did his transistor. That's probably if I was going to really do it really nicely, that's how I would handle it.
That's true. That's probably the cleanest way to do it. That's movie prop wise. Ain't nobody got time for that. This kid's craft corner over here. I just make do.
Alrighty. Good luck with that build there, Daniel. Let's grab another. This one here comes from Squibby. That's a great name. Let's see. I got some L200 and I found that it is too soft for most of my armor builds. Would L300 or L400 be more like the floor mat density? Have you ever worked with anything other than just the normal floor mats?
Yeah, this isn't this equivalent to L200? It's this one is 3mm.
Yeah, it's similar. That's actually probably closer to L300. And I'll tell you what I did, because this is how I roll. We have a local foam store. It's called the Friendly Foam Store in Bellevue. And they have their own, it's not called L200, but it's called L20 or Y20 or something like that. It's the same stuff.
Oh,
I went and got a bunch of samples from them of all the different densities of foam that they have. And when I was in the UK, they have different foams that they use, like Plastazote and Microlin and all this other stuff. So I hoarded a bunch of samples too. So I have a bag of foam scraps with listed on them what they are. Yeah. And then I can compare the density and surface qualities of those to other stuff.
Yeah.
So L300 is probably closer to the floor mat density.
Yeah.
And in fact, when I was working in Frank Ippolito's shop down in LA on the costumes for Lawbreakers, that was all L300 for the most part.
Okay.
Yeah.
I find it to be a little the flimsy stuff works. I'm better with that. This is 10 mil EVA. This is the floor mat. And then this one is hard as a brick. Same thickness, but it's a different density. So I'm like you. I have to have a sample thing, or when I go to order it, I forget. And I ordered floor mats that are the world's thickest black density. Took me forever to bend them into these stupid shoulder shapes.
Yeah.
Raging. So
I will say, what I've actually, even though I will buy the big rolls of stuff for the next costume in this project that I'm working on, I seriously just bought more floor mats. I went to WeSellMats.com and I got just normal gray floor mats. I have 12 sheets of them right there. And I just use that. It just works for me.
I got them from that same site. I have tons of them, and they have small imperfections or pock marks, but they're so freaking cheap. It works fine for me.
Yeah, cool. There you go, Squibby. Little lesson about foam. All right, next one here. One of our regulars, Fearless Facade. He says, "Hey Bill, can you recommend any good brush-on gloss coats or varnish? Winter is fast approaching here in the UK, and it's getting too cold for spray gloss, which yields poor results. Any help would be greatly appreciated." So he wants brush-on gloss coats.
And self-leveling, more than likely, yeah. He doesn't want to send out brush strokes, does he?
Yeah, I'm curious.
What's the temperature on this bad boy?
Yeah, I was going to say the XTC is pretty shiny. You could just brush that on.
23 degrees, 23 Celsius over there. Like,
yeah, you do want it to be, most of the time when you're painting or finishing anything, you do want it to be warmer if you can.
yeah.
We have a paint room over there, and when it does get really chilly down here, we'll bring a space heater in there and warm that up that area. It's like the warmest part of the shop for like 3 months.
I did shellac the Frostmourne in like 55-degree weather. That's pushing it. It took a while it was actually tacky for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So I brought it inside though and just turned on like my ventilation thing for my downdraft on my stove. So shellac might work because it's organic, you know, or organic, not what I meant. It's bug resin, so it's a different kind of thing altogether.
That's what I wanted to know what shellac really was, and I looked it up. Comes out of a bug's butt. Turns out.
Super weird. It's great stuff though. It's made that Frostmourne super durable.
Yeah. So shellac might be your best option there for your list facade. Like always, I always say do some small scale tests on some scraps before you commit. All right. There you go. All right. Another question. This one comes from Costas. See here. He says, my daughter Angel is 16 years old and is getting more serious about cosplay and prop making as a possible career choice. She is starting to look at colleges. Do you have any advice? Alfred State College in upstate New York. That's where I went. And Oneonta.
Isn't Carnegie Mellon? Isn't that the #1 costume school in the country?
Got me. I didn't go to school for costume making. I went to school for computer art.
I work for biology, so not really working very well for me now. I looked it up not that long ago because I wanted to find out within my state what was big. And Carnegie Mellon or whatever it's called. I'm probably butchering that name. I know it has melon in it. It's really expensive and has a super low acceptance rate, but it's renowned for like the highest after graduation salary and most job opportunities. But most of the people leave the state and go to like New York, California, Atlanta. Like they have a map of where people leave. So I don't know.
What I would say is it's tricky because getting work experience as a proper costume maker can be really, really beneficial, but getting your foot in the door is tricky. So I would recommend, while she's still young, before it's college time, to maybe see if she can go intern or apprentice at a theater company and work for free and just get a lot of hours using tools and getting used to a production schedule like that, to get her feet wet. You never know. In 2 years, she might be like, I want to be an engineer instead. Blah. Yeah. But just get work experience actually doing it, because as soon as you realize you have to spend 12 hours a day doing something, it may become a lot less appealing.
Yeah.
And then whatever she does when she does go to school, whatever her major is, make sure she takes a handful of classes on how to run a business, how to market your business, and how to do some sales. I never got any of that in college, and I really wish I had.
Yeah, those of you watching, the best episode of Prop Live for the business aspect of it is your Sorenzo props episode with him. That is the most thorough. You know, you get the same question over and over about business. How do you do a quote for a prop? Your explanation on that, you really went on like a mega tangent, and it was just like, diversify all the different things. You can't have one source of income. Don't make it just selling one gun type. You know, like that's a really great episode for anybody interested in making it a business. Yeah,
Tom's awesome too, and he's a steppy, really tall Scottish man with an awesome accent. So if you're into that, go watch that episode.
Then you can watch his awesome casting fail video.
Yeah, yes, definitely. Cool. And I'll tell you too, a lot of the stuff that I learned that I talk about, it's only come from getting that work experience, doing it for three, almost 4 years now. All right, Costas, good luck with your 16-year-old daughter.
Yes, that sounds fun.
Have a good time. I'm sure he's already had all kinds of adventures raising a young lady. Another regular here, Lee, wants to know, what is a good, cheap, small item I can use as a counterweight on my weapon prop? I need 3 pounds to fit in a foam pommel, a little bigger than a tennis ball, to ensure emoticon. I don't know what that means, but let's see. I've bought a few bolts and nuts, but it was harder than he thought. It's hard to get a lot of weight.
Yeah. I actually saw that question and instantly thought of fishing weights.
That's exactly what I thought.
Yeah. And they make one that's already round. It's a 3-pounder. It's a salmon lead cannon sinker. Yeah, like real talk. I live on an island chain, guys. Fishing is a livelihood here, and it's 2.5-inch diameter and it's 3 pounds. Like, dude, get that bad boy. It's like $7.
Let me see.
The weirdest
fishing
thing.
Sinker.
They're so awkwardly specific.
Yeah, you can get here just on Amazon real fast, and you can buy. The thing with nuts and bolts is that they are. I don't think they're as dense as lead, so you have to get more of them to make more weight. Let's see here. 3 ounce. You can get small, roundish ones. You fit a lot of them in.
The cannonball sinker is completely round, so that one would be perfect for him. Or cannon sinker is what it's called.
Looking that up. Yeah. Cannon sinker.
Holy
crap!
They got all
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's so weird. They have them like 2.5 diameter, 2.5-inch diameter, and it's 3 pounds. Like it kind of was made for that guy. Cannonball sinkers. Get a 6-pack. Anyway, there you go. The world of fishing comes to rescue us. Yeah. So problem solved, Lee. Right there. We're helping you out. One question at a time, guys. Just come at us.
Changing the world with fishing equipment.
Fishing equipment.
Cool. Let's see here. Oh, Tim, who had the shoulder thing, is chiming back in. He says, I have previously tried hot gluing those buckles to my foam, but they seem to not hold that well, and the buckle breaks away from the foam. Any tips? Am I doing something wrong? I'll tell you what I do. And let's see here. Actually, I can show you. I have a piece of foam right here, and I have a knife. So if I have my piece of foam here, like that, and I want to put a piece of strap there, I take my knife and I score like a crosshatch pattern into it like this. And then I hit that with a heat gun, and that crosshatchy bit adds a lot of tooth for the hot glue to grab into. Yeah, so important. Yeah, it really, really is. And then on your buckle, you want to make sure you sand the buckle so it's got some tooth on it too. And then if you're still having trouble, you can probably put a little thin strap across the top of the buckle and then hot glue that down to the foam too. Yeah. I used, from your books, actually, I learned about like giving it teeth. So like I dremeled hardcore under here, and then this has no little buckle. It's epoxy. I actually brushed on epoxy, but because of the dremeling the spot out with the teeth, like that epoxy's not going anywhere. It's so strong. There you go. Another problem solved. Man, we are great today. We're like the what's that guy, the bald guy with the TV show with the problems and the family with the, you know, the baby daddy problem. Dr. Phil. We're like the Dr. Phil of costuming. Next question comes from Aaron. Let's see here. I'm building Magic Armor Link. Let's see if I can find a picture of that, because I haven't played a game since A Link to the Past on Super Nintendo. Oh, like a Zelda. Yeah, I haven't played a Zelda game. Yeah, I heard you say Magic. I didn't hear the rest of it. Magic Armor Link. Magical. I think this is it right here. That might be it. Oh yeah, cool. For UmaCon in Detroit, and I'm about to paint it. What's the best way to paint a convincing metallic finish and have it last? What do you? So you've got some metal on that shoulder piece you were just showing me. How'd you paint that? I love me some metal. I use heavy body Liquitex when I hand paint because it doesn't really get brush strokes. But I spray. I've got a really great airbrush setup. I use Createx, which is all right. I loved it at first, and like now I'm not loving it as much. I want to move away from that brand for metallics. But that Liquitex heavy body, if you don't have a sprayer, that is such a great metallic paint. That's what all of this stuff is. It's just that's what Stephen K. Smith uses for all of his most of his stuff. Yeah, I love heavy body. It's great. That's good because it covers so well. Yeah, it does. I have two. If you have an airbrush, here I have two things that'll help you out. First off, base coat it in black, whatever, like black primer or after it's primed, just paint it black. Put your metal on top of that. Usually, especially if you want a higher gloss, a higher shine on your on your metal. So if you put down a gloss black and then put metallic paint on top of it, it'll actually help it be more shiny.
Yeah.
The two paints I like for that are, with my airbrush, the Metalizer lacquers. Metal.
I haven't messed with lacquer, but it interacts weird with other stuff, so I was nervous about swapping from like water-based paints.
It can. You want the lacquer to be the last thing you put on.
Okay.
So either only do the lacquer, or make it your topmost coat. Let's see here.
So you have a lacquer top coat as well, like a sealer, like gloss or something.
Yes, exactly. Either the Metalizer lacquer. Let's see here. Testors does it. The Model Master Testors. So the website, for some reason, their website just really doesn't have any more of this stuff on there. But it's this stuff. Metalizer lacquer paints. Let's click on that there.
Oh, okay, not that one.
There we go. A bunch of different colors.
Okay.
They have buffing and non-buffing versions. The buffing ones, you spray them on and then you buff them, and they get really shiny. And then they have their own top clear coat to spray on top of that. And it does a pretty good job of keeping that metallic shine.
I'll have to try that one.
Yeah, that stuff's fun. It's usually available in hobby stores. And they also have, if you don't have an airbrush, they also come in spray paint cans, which is...
Oh, that must be what I have then. I bought a variety of the little spray ones.
Yeah.
But I haven't used them.
The other really great ones is All Clad 2. Let's see if I can find their website.
No, that stuff is so pricey. Don't you recommend that to me? I looked at the price on All Clad and I was like, what? Where do you get that? Like, where do you get it affordably?
You don't.
Fun.
You do have to. They don't have it for sale on their website, but you do have to go find a local retailer. We have a hobby store nearby that sells it, but it's lacquers like the other one. The great thing I like about their chrome or their high shine ones, they have their own high gloss black lacquer. Spray that down first. You need an airbrush for this, but you spray that down first. And then you spray on the metal, so like a chrome. And they also have a clear coat. Again, they have their own clear coat for it. So yeah. So there you go, Aaron. Making it last at the end of his question, making it last. Doing a good clear coat on there helps for something that has a really nice shine. What I like to do is, after you've put on the metal coat, put on the clear coat over that, and then do another coat of the metal. And then it has that nice metallic shine. And if that gets scratched or rubbed off, it goes down to the clear layer. But it looks pretty good.
Could I put XTC over that? Would there be any lacquer weird resin issues?
You do some tests.
I love that. I love that XTC. It makes everything so durable.
Oh, yes. There you go, Aaron. Oh, and another really, really quick thing about doing metal finishes. Most of the time, so for example, this axe I'm going to do is going to have a metal finish on it. It's from Diablo. It's supposed to look kind of like grimy and big and chunky. I will base coat it black, and then I will paint the metallic finish over the top of that. But I'm not going to cover all the black. I want some of that black to show through. That contrast... When you look at something and there's a contrast of shininess and black, that's what tells our brain. That's how we read metal when we see something. So you don't just get a rattle can of that silver metallic Rust-Oleum bright coat stuff. Don't just douse it with that. You want a little contrast. Yeah,
painting is actually the thing that all the people I meet at the cons I've been to this year, the number one thing people struggle with the most is like shading, weathering, highlighting, dirtying up a prop, and they'll just do it. They spray it with a rattle can, they're done. And then they wonder why it doesn't photograph deep. You want that depth, and you have to create the depth, or the photographer has to do it in an editing program. So.
Yes, indeed. There you go. Have fun, Aaron. It is fun. It's fun. That's playing with metallic finishes is really, really fun thing to experiment with, and it's a really good excuse to go buy a whole crap load of expensive paints.
Yeah. I have like a new weird paint brand that comes in the mail like every day. I opened a little tiny package of a spray Testors Pearl Silver yesterday. I was like, I don't even remember ordering this, but I'm excited to try it.
I have to do this 1 second. I'm glad you pointed that out. I posted this on Facebook yesterday, but this is from Novacolor, which is a paint company, Novacolor's Paint. And if you can ever, and they have a store in LA, and when I was down there, the guys I was working with grabbed a couple of these from their store. I'm not sure if you have to pay for them or not. But he just gave me this, which was cool. But if this is like $5-10, go for it. If you're going to order stuff online, especially having a sheet like this with these are actual dabs of paint. So if I want sapphire pearl, which is this one, which is really shiny and cool.
Yeah.
Then I can look at this and know exactly what I'm going to get.
Yeah.
And
is that a theater brand, like common in theater, that Nova brand?
It could be. I'm not really sure. Like I said, it was their store was down in LA. So
yeah.
Who knows?
I saw that. I want to try some of those colors. I love the sample sheet. That's great for me because I live in the middle of nowhere. So
yes,
I order everything. I have a great relationship with my UPS guy.
Let's see here. Golden. I want to see something. Golden paints, I think, is another one. This was really. Excuse me. This was really cool. Let's see if I can find it. I can't. Wait. No, that's it. That's it right there. That is a really crummy picture, but it get you an idea. A buddy of mine had a shirt from Golden Paints. Really nice acrylic paints. My website broke. Go back.
Yeah.
He had this picture, and it's a T-shirt that's a color sample. So they actually, I don't know where you get them, but you get T-shirts. It was printed with white rectangles on it, and then they dab real paint, all their paint samples right on a T-shirt. You could buy a T-shirt.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
I want one.
I love that. To the guy that was asking about the durability, though, like just to show you, this is always let your things cure. That's really important. But like this XTC on this, it's really durable. I mean, it's got a little bit more curing time, but like I expect my friend to take this to BlizzCon and like be able to go ham on it. So if you're concerned with durability, that's one coat of XTC resin. Best $30 investment ever buying that little kit. The first time I did.
Alrighty, this next one here is from Hey Patch. Let's see here. I'm just starting out with my YouTube channel. It'll be videos of me building all kinds of stuff, including props. Sounds familiar. Any tips on when it comes to doing early collaborations or making props for free in return for promotion?
Ooh.
Yeah. That's a pretty good, especially when you're getting started. I did a lot of, and bear in mind, I had a day job at the time, so I could afford to do it. But I gave away a lot of props early on. But remember that you're not giving away props for free. Like, don't think about it that way. You come to an agreement with someone, and you would approach them with a project that they have in mind and say, hey, I would love to do this for you. I'll build this thing for you. I'm going to do a video on it. I'll do it for you in exchange for, don't say I'll do it for free. Say I will do it in exchange for you promoting my video once it's live.
Yeah.
Just keep that in mind. There's value in the work that you're doing. So make sure that you're getting something out of it. Make sure that the person you're working with understands that.
Yeah. I have made a couple things, 2 things specifically for someone that I've gotten something in return from. But I did giveaways, like just to show fan love. Sorry about that. I knew it was gonna fall. I actually just finished this. So like I made Chloe Dykstra one. You know Chloe Dykstra. She has a little piranha plant of her own, but I made this as a giveaway for your page. So like that's a great way to publicly let your fans know that like I see you. I did a giveaway. I acknowledge that you're supporting me, and I want you to know that I'm giving you a little something, from my day and time. So if you do a fan page and build a following, make sure that you treat the people that appreciate and support you well. So
yeah, in fact, that's not a bad idea, especially when you get started, to say, hey, I'm going to build something and then run a giveaway for the thing that you built. That encourages the people who enter to share the project and show it off.
Exactly.
That's a pretty good idea. I'm going to do that next week.
Oh, everybody sign up. No one sign up. No.
I haven't done a giveaway in a while. I should do that.
Yeah, it's fun.
Let's see here. And another really quick thing. If you are going to, anytime you approach anyone else, especially people you don't know, with an idea for a project where you would say, let's say I'm going to go ask Jessica Negri to promote one of my videos because I have high hopes. say, hey, I have an idea. I want to build a thing for you. And you get the thing. And then you could promote my video. Be perfectly okay with the people you ask saying no. Like they just, they may not feel comfortable with that kind of promotion. It may not be a good fit for their brand. You don't know.
It's great that you bring up someone at that high level, because I actually reached out about 2 weeks ago and asked someone at that level if I could make them a breastplate, and I got a yes, and I got contact. Yeah, and I'm that black breastplate is going to be for that person. And sometimes they do say yes. Sometimes there are people that really want to make their own stuff. They don't want you to make their stuff. That's part of their brand. But there are people that have become entertainers that they don't have the time anymore because they're traveling so much. So they may give you a shout out for making something for them. So. Yeah.
Cool. Can you say who it was?
I don't want to yet. But she's similar to my size-ish. I'm slightly bigger, but she's cutie. So.
There you go. Hey, Patch, some good advice for you there. Good luck with the YouTube channel. Just make sure you're putting content out regularly. That's the biggest thing. Try and get something out every week.
Yes. Oh, that's important. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Don't disappear on your followers.
No, certainly not. Let's see here. This next one comes from another regular, Foosro Dave.
Brittany.
What was Brittany saying?
Brittany said the breastplate was for you.
For me, yeah. It's my new Blizzard costume, everybody. I'm doing a lady thrall. That's what it's going to be.
Everything showing. It's going to be awesome.
Let's see. Oh, Foosro Dave says, hey, I'm remaking the Hunter's Knife from Destiny. That's right. Dave was at New York not New York Comic-Con, New York Construct in New York City, and he took part in the class I did building a Hunter's Knife from Destiny.
Awesome.
Let's see. He says, I noticed after a coat of primer that super glue pooled in the corners of the Hunter Civil, and I'm having trouble dealing with it. Do I just cast it and sand it then, or do you have a better option? So there's a symbol in the blade that's would be about 2 millimeters thick that super glue pooled in. That would be challenging to remove from the foam because the super glue is so rock solid and the foam is so squishy.
I mean, you could use like a itty bitty tiny little bit or something.
Well, I have a thing. Hold on. I'm going over here. You may. I don't know if this will help you but this is a thing for you to try. Super glue companies, including this one, has a super glue remover. Ta-da!
For when you stick things to yourself.
Or when your hands are just covered in super glue. Get yourself some of this, and what I've noticed when I use this stuff, you put it on the super glue and it will kind of eat away at the first layer, and then you got to wipe it away. So you may have to do a couple of passes, but this stuff might work for you, Dave.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, drop it on the affected area until it sort of softens the super glue, and then wipe it away with a paper towel. Do that a couple times, and that may help you out.
I rarely use super glue except for Pepakura. This is part of a dragon thing that goes around the staff. Super glue. Other than that, I never use it.
I use it constantly.
Dude, what do you use it on? Are you super gluing your armor?
And I mean, I do a lot of rigid prop stuff. So anything with styrene plastic, I use super glue on. Yeah. Okay.
Because my little green foam and stuff, cyanoacrylate glue or whatever, eats that to death. So
they make a foam safe CA. Look that up. That's right.
I'm gonna look that up. I learned something.
Let's see here. Amazon. I should just leave Amazon open constantly.
Expensive bill. Free shipping only.
It's got to be on Prime.
I need to make a costume out of all my boxes. Actually, my shredder size, they're my Amazon Prime boxes because I have so many boxes.
Yes, I have that and smooth on boxes. Let's see here. Great Plains on Prime. Pro foam safe
on Prime.
There you go.
I'm sad that Monster Clay isn't Prime, but they sell it on Amazon now, and I want.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, because it's you know how you have to do a minimum order on their actual website. Mm-hmm. Well, they now sell it on Amazon, but you have to pay for the shipping. So I guess
that's fine. You just buy 20 pounds of it, and it lasts a lifetime.
Yeah, it's fine.
Alrighty, there you go. There you go, Dave. Good luck with that hunter knife. Actually, I'd like to see how your second try turned out. For sure.
It better be hot pink also, or Hello Kitty colored.
I was doing some stickers for a friend of mine. We bought some vinyl, just a roll of sticker vinyl, and it wasn't hot pink. It was hottest pink.
Oh, do you have stickers, hot pink stickers all over your tools?
No, I cut them all out, and then I believe. Oh, you know what? I still have some of the roll. I could make more.
Oh, you should, because one of them has a quite dirty name, and it'd be funny to cover it in pink stickers and make it like a
one of my tools with
the
Spinnetrator, I believe, is pink.
It might be the drill press has a weird name. I can't remember.
The bungholer, yeah.
Yeah, you both name your props strange things.
All right, another one here from Aaron. One more question for you guys. Any tips on shading details with highlight and low lights to create convincing shadows? I think it's not necessarily shadows, but it's what you would call ambient occlusion. Yeah.
That's that art school coming out.
Yeah, that's more of a, actually, like when you do textures for video games, they'll kind of bake in light and dark areas. It's called ambient occlusion.
Oh yeah, is that what you turn? It's one of the boxes that you can tick off if you have a really crappy computer.
Turn off. It's part of the texture. So if we look at this example right here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
They paint streets like with that kind of style. You know what I mean? Where it's an illusion.
Mm-hmm.
Probably that kind of style with the shading.
Yeah, that's cool though. Like you were saying before, how if your piece, if you want to put more depth into your piece, you can sort of do a lot more with the lights and darks to make it convincingly more depth. Yeah. This is exactly the sort of thing that if you look at a paint job that Svetlana does. Let's go to Kamui Cosplay. Go to her website. They and Benny does a lot of the painting, I know. It's a very common thing for them to do with their paint jobs. So here we go. There's a good one in Svetlana. And let's look at the picture and zoom in a little bit. So they've painted shading in around all of these crevices, and that those pieces, the Worbla on those detail pieces isn't very thick. It's maybe like 2 or 3 millimeters thick. But because they've added those shading areas, it looks a lot more.
Yeah, like I did that with the flail. Like all the places that along the little nooks and crannies, I airbrushed just the brown to offset that copper, and it looked. You can see the progress on my Facebook. It looked fine before I dirtied it up, but I just feel like it's gonna look better from afar, dirtied up. So that is so important, man.
So you could do it with an airbrush. So for example, if you were going to do, let's go back to this example. You could actually trace the lines here with the airbrush sort of overlapping a little bit, so you get some gradient going into the copper parts. And then once that's done, you could go back over the highlights with like some silver to cover up the part that you airbrushed just on those highlights.
Yeah. I know Benny, like he recommended a lot of things for me, but this is a scrub brush. When I got to talk to him, a little scrub brush like this is like really dense and great for doing that dark shadowing by hand. Like this changed my life compared to like the flimsy typical brush. One good scrub brush is so good for dirtying up a prop.
Yeah. So if you're going to do it by hand using a brush like that, you can totally do that even just using normal acrylic paints. Yeah. Just put on a couple of layers at different values to get that depth.
Mm-hmm. And you brought up something in your book that was like sealing. Before you begin to weather, like you could seal a layer, like spray it with the acrylic sealer or whatever you use, and then you can begin your dirtying or your highlighting or whatever.
Yeah, if you just stick with acrylics over and over and over again, especially if you work really fast, you don't let the previous layer dry all the way. You can actually lift that paint up below it. So if you let it dry all the way, if you hit it with like a spray sealer, then the previous layer will stay put.
Mm-hmm. You don't have to worry about scrubbing it off or something like that.
Totally possible, which is exactly the sort of thing I've done.
Me too.
Let's see here. Alfuzor David, update on that hunter knife. He says he made it out of PVC Sintra this time, if that changes anything. With the Sintra, if you have a more rigid thing to work with, you could try and like chisel your extra super glue out of those crevices with just a sharp knife. Or let me see if I have it. They make chisel tips for X-Actos. Let's do it. So you just sort of like jam it in there and like scrape it out. But this stuff, the uncure or super glue remover type stuff should also help out too.
Yeah.
All right. Next question comes from Joseph. He says, I always hear prop makers using Barge Cement. Is it really that much better than DAP Weldwood Contact Cement? I ask because Barge is $30, whereas DAP is only $7. Does Barge Thinner work with the DAP? I don't know about that. I bet it does thin it. I haven't tried, though. Do I have any? I don't think I have any DAP here.
Video about that DAP though, it's one of the tested videos. I think you and Frank Apolito like make a joke about how it's like the worst. You were rubbing it. Yeah.
It was a different kind. They have a water-based kind.
That's the one.
The water-based kind we used to seal all of the armor when I was down there working with him. It's not a great adhesive. But it was great for sealing.
Okay. It's the water-based one. I'll remember that now.
Yeah. Actually, because I did a thing with Barge. Let me see. Can I see it? All my stuff back there. I can't. I have all the normal like red and yellow can Barge. That's the normal stuff. It is better than the Weldwood. I wouldn't. If you don't do it as much as I do, it may not be $23 a can better. And especially if it's all you can get your hands on, the DAP stuff is still pretty good.
Yeah.
But they do make, and I couldn't find it. They make like a super Barge.
Oh my gosh.
And Barge sent it to me. I didn't ask for it. They said they were going to send me some stuff to try out because we did a giveaway with them. And it says like for industrial use only. It was like I'm afraid to open it in my house.
Yeah, especially where you are right now. Like, even with good ventilation, like you're downstairs and under. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
That's crazy.
All right, so to wrap up your question, Joseph, the Barge Thinner will probably work with DAP, and you would probably be okay sticking with the DAP for most projects.
Not the water-based.
Yeah, especially if it's foam to foam. If it's if you want to like rubber cement rubber to stuff, or I would go with Barge. It's used for putting shoes together.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, there you go, Joseph. We got time for a couple more here. One from Sam, our buddy who had the super cool Warlock costume at Dragon Con.
Oh, yeah. I know.
Yeah.
Hi,
Sam over at Bio Cosplay, he wants to know. He says, talking is hard today. I have my preferred default foam thickness. I was wondering, what thicknesses of foam do you usually prefer to work with? Oh, I have all kinds. How about you?
I sent you an email, actually. I was talking about that weird polystyrene crappy stuff on that fabric store.
That's right.
I want to move down from like the floor mat thickness. Like it's fine for bulking up, but I end up carving it so much to make thin strips. That's why I've been testing out the L200, 300 kind of style. But I don't know. The kids craft foam is great for detailing, like this kind of tiny detailing, but that in between the 10 millimeter and the tiny kids craft foam, I'd like to live in that area a little bit more.
Yeah. What we usually have on hand is the floor mats, which are about 1/2 inch thick. The EVA foam, fun foam, the craft stuff that we get at Joann's, that's 6 millimeters thick. Mm-hmm. And the big rolls of the 2 millimeter stuff. They also make a 3 millimeter stuff that comes in sheets. Sometimes we use that. But I can make just about anything out of those 3 main thicknesses. If I need something to be a little bit thicker, I'll stack 2 pieces of 2 millimeter together. And if I need it to be thinner, if I need like the 1/2 inch stuff, if it's not too wide, I can actually run it through my bandsaw and rip it down thinner if I have to. But a lot of times when I'm building stuff, I'm like, oh, this part needs to be a little bit thicker. It's just going to be 6 millimeters because that's what I have.
Yep, I do that too. I'm like, it's artistic interpretation.
That's right. I work inside the constraints of the material I have.
Oh, I always do. That's always my limiting factor.
And the other great thing about that is all of those I can buy locally. I can go to the hardware store to get the floor mats. I can go to Joann's or Michael's to get the big rolls of 2 millimeter stuff, or the little sheets of the 6 millimeter stuff. Being able to get it like when I need it right now is very, very important to me.
Most important to me. I can't stand waiting. Like I'll lose the momentum, and I can't lose the momentum. That's why I stock up with so much crap. I know, when you're having a really good crafting day. All right, that is it. It has been an hour. Holy crap. That went by so fast. It was so fast.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for showing up and bringing your awesome questions. You guys are fantastic. I say it every week, but you guys really bring the content for the show. It's so awesome. We have our chat down there, you guys chatting away. Thank you guys for showing up. And thank you, Jackie, for showing up. It's been so much fun.
It has been fun. So, and hopefully we'll have some Foamsmith books at some Wizard World events next year.
That's right. Yes. I need to figure that out. We'll talk about that offline. We have plans. Yeah, we have
plans. And the foam is, people love the Worbla and the Terraflex and things like that, but foam is like such a great, it can, it's budget friendly. It can be to work with though, but it's budget friendly. So
for those of you, everyone actually watching should go over to Facebook, look up Jackie Craft Cosplay, and go like her page because she's awesome.
And ask questions if you have them. That's what I like to do. I may not make props for a living, but I certainly like to teach people how to do stuff. So I like to share. So come ask questions.
Awesome.
No questions too stupid. Just stupid people or whatever. No, I'm just
cool. All right. Thanks, everybody. We will see you all next week. So long. Go home and make stuff. Bye.